Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to what will inevitably be another fantastic game of StarCraft 2. Here on Antigua Shipyard today we have the red Terran player, Markine King Prime, and then spawning in the southeastern corner we have the blue Protoss player, Liquid.Hero. Now, we should note that this is not the GSL version of the map. There are golden minerals and there have not been forced cross spawns. As a result of that fact, there is a high potential for some early aggression today. The attack paths are shorter for the Terran player. Of course, for the Protoss player, you have these proxy pylons that can go down anywhere you wish, so attack paths not as important. That being said, we should discuss the map a little bit as well. We do have a relatively tight choke going into the natural. Not all maps have this nice ramp leading up to your natural, or to your third for that matter. This makes it a map that is very, very good for macro games because you can get that fast natural and a reasonably quick and safe third. Of course, you do have the rocks at the back of your third as well, but those do not come into play usually until at least the mid-game when armies, or players, have sizable armies that can rush in and take down that third extremely quickly. We do see the gateway going down as well as the barracks, so nothing proxy or crazy like that occurring, of course, and nothing like command center first. This map is safe, but not that safe. This isn't a huge map like Tal'Darim Altar or the new Condemned Valley. As a result, gonna want to throw down that racks and gateway just for that little bit of safety. Gas going down for both players as well. That is an indication from Markine King Prime that he will not go for a command center gasless before anything else. This is going to delay his expansion, and I suspect he wants to do this because he's going to go for some aggression. The question is, of course, will he throw down just a second racks and throw on some add-ons, perhaps one reactor, one tech lab? That could be a very, very strong push, a nice mix of Marines and Marauders. And yes, there it goes down, the second barracks. I don't think we'll see a third, as that would be just a little bit crazy for Markine King Prime. And, well, we should also note that there has been no scouting by either player. You see, if you go to either vision, and no scouting has been done whatsoever. Now, this could be because either A, the players are doing builds that are so tight that they want every bit of mineral and gas collection as possible, but perhaps a little bit more likely is the fact that they know each other's style, they know they're not going to get cheesed, and as a result, just want to keep everything at home and play strong macro games. However, Liquid.Hero, I suspect, he may think that MKP is going for that one racks command center, as many Terrans would do, but he is going for that pressure, so Liquid.Hero could be caught off guard, and yes, the tech lab goes down, as I was saying earlier. One of each add-on makes for that nice, balanced unit mix. And okay, we do see that the first scout has gone out for Markine King Prime, and luckily enough for him, he will scout his opponent successfully on the first attempt, going down to this bottom right-hand corner, where he will find Liquid.Hero setting up for a 1-gate expansion. Now, 1-gate expands are defendable versus a 2-racks, however, you need to get that second gateway. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a 2-gate expand. Fantastic. Liquid.Hero is going to be in great shape in this case. He should not have any trouble defending at least the initial aggression. That being said, he can't afford to make any mistakes, especially with concussive shell coming up as well. If he lets things like stalkers get caught off guard and lets units get picked off too early, he could find himself in a spot of trouble. The robo goes down before the third gateway. That decision I do not like as much, and you see this early scouting is actually hurting Liquid.Hero, or this lack of early scouting is actually hurting Liquid.Hero. He needs to run up to this top right base, and he will discover that his opponent is not there, and instead, he will have pressure at his front, and oh, this probe is going to scout the pressure, but I think it might be too late. The stalker will not be able to get back in time. Liquid.Hero has nothing to defend his base right now. He did not continue unit production out of these gateways. He didn't go for a third gate. He went for the robo instead. That's not going to help at all. He has 2 sentries. He will have to lose this nexus. But whoa, the force field does go down. One Marine is going to be picked off. And this nexus is going to have to be cancelled. He needs to be careful with the stalker as well. He does not want to lose it. He needs to keep it out of the battle for now, but no, I'm not sure what he's planning to do with that. The reinforcements are going to find it and will inevitably pick it off. In the meantime, finally transforming these gateways and a immortal on the way, but with this bunker going down and a good number of Marines, that immortal is not going to be Liquid.Hero's saving grace. Stalker is forced off as well. It cannot compete, and it is lucky it did not get hit with a concussive shell, to be quite honest. Alright, in the meantime we see that MKP has not expanded, here we go, yes, finally throwing that down, that command center in his base. It's an interesting decision considering the fact that he has his opponent contained. You might think that he would go for the low ground, but no, playing it safe instead while he just keeps this soft pressure on Liquid.Hero's base. Liquid.Hero finishing up 2 more gateways, nothing else coming out of the robo. A decent force field goes down, traps that one marauder. Needs to be very, very careful though, and he certainly cannot move down this ramp and engage. Not only is he literally have a lower army supply, but the sentries will not have the DPS necessary to deal with this bunker and the sheer number of units. Alright, we do have a Warp Prism on the way. Very interesting play coming out of Liquid.Hero. Perhaps going to go for a bit of a counterattack while he is contained. That is something that could get him back into this. He would need to get over there and do some serious economic damage to MKP's mineral line to make up for the fact that he has not been able to expand. And yes, here he goes. Loads up an Immortal and 2 sentries. Very, very interesting. Gonna go for a bit of a sentry drop. I suspect he will harass with this. Very, very interesting indeed. Liquid.Hero using that transform function. Gonna run some zealots up the front and perhaps bring the Warp Prism in the back, some dual-pronged attacks while being contained at home. Very well done by Liquid.Hero. I suspect that this could be just what he needs to get him out of this bind, though only time will tell, as we do see that Markine King Prime actually has a large number of units at home defending his base. Perhaps seeing this coming, or just decided not to rally them to the front. Either way, they are helping him out now, that is for sure. And the Warp Prism not being used to bring him the back, but instead dropping units right at the front. So force fields go down. They're decent, but I don't think it's going to be quite enough, as Liquid.Hero does not have high enough DPS to be able to even these units at home. And he just needs to be careful not to lose this Immortal, as its shields are all gone. Loses stock, but will the Immortal go down? He cannot afford to lose it. No, it will not for the time being. Back at home, the force field has gone down to block the main ramp of Liquid.Hero. But he's out of sentries, and the units of Markine King Prime are moving up into the base. The pylon will fall, and nothing gets depowered quite yet. A Colossi on the way. Will that be enough? It pops out right in front of the Marauders. The Marauders focusing it down. Already lost all of its shield, down to a quarter HP now. The Colossi will not fall for the time being, as some more stalkers are warped in. But Liquid.Hero has taken a significant amount of damage here. He is in tatters. He has not been able to get that expansion down yet, and is instead bringing home this empty Warp Prism. It appears as though the Immortal did die in the meantime. Alright, well, Liquid.Hero has almost no choice but to make a counterattack and hope for the best. Throwing down this expansion, yes, but he really needs to do some damage to his opponent. We see that MKP is playing very, very safe. He knows he's ahead. He knows that contain went well. Just using the second orbital command for mules and SCVs, not quite moving out yet. And in fact, bunkering up in his main base, he knows that a strong counterattack is highly likely. Ooh, now here we see something that's very Liquid.Hero-esque, using this Colossi to do harassment. He loves these Warp Prism drops. He is one of the pioneers of the Warp Prism play before it even got buffed. Liquid.Hero and White Raw, of course, using these Warp Prisms to their fullest extent. And while harassing with that Colossi, he will move it so it almost gets picked off. Very, very low. Needs to be careful. Some Vikings come in. And that will inevitably spell the end of that Colossi, I fear. It doesn't go down quite yet. And he stops moving it as the Colossi does fall. So tragic. And this push just became much, much weaker, as there are no splash damage units and just no high tier units at all. Nothing but a Zealot, Stalker, Sentry mix, and not too much energy on those sentries to speak of as well. Although some more are on the way, so Liquid.Hero will have force fields, very plentiful. Let's look at that worker count. We do see it's 33 to 33, interestingly enough, but in the meantime, Liquid.Hero trying to push up this natural ramp. His force field's hurting him just a little bit there, but we did pick a couple units off, and here we go, pushing up the ramp one more time, trying to catch these Marauders. One Marauder does fall. The Vikings not doing too much right now. Those could be landed, and Liquid.Hero actually looking like he has a very, very strong push here. Of course, building off these SCVs that have been pulled, and they've been chasing him back down the ramp, and if he gets clean engagement here, he will win. All these Marauders will take down the Stalkers very, very quickly, even landing the Vikings, as we mentioned earlier. Proxy Pylon will force to be cancelled, and Liquid.Hero on the run with a significantly lower supply now, and falling behind in probes as well. And don't forget, Terran of course has mules, so even with a relatively even worker count, the Terran economy is ahead. The Stalkers being chased all the way home. Liquid.Hero likely will have no answer for this army, as Markine King Prime is essentially doing I don't want to say an all-in push. He's not all-in, but he's brought a significant number of SCVs. I mean, this is a serious push. It's going to be very, very difficult for Liquid.Hero to hold his main, and never mind his natural nexus. Liquid.Hero engaging with everything that he has, but I fear it will be too late. This upgrade will not do anything for him. No Colossi on the way. Liquid.Hero not able to hold off the pressure of Markine King Prime after his failed counterattack. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. GG out of Liquid.Hero. Congratulations to Markine King Prime.